Guys, today we're going to do a yarn over slip stitch. This will create a ribbed look or a knitted look. So in this particular pattern that I wrote, we're going to start with 7. So we're going to chain 7. And then we're not going to be working on this side right now. We're going to work through these middle loops on the back side. Skip the first chain closest to the hook and then just single crochet through those middle loops all the way to the end of your row. And then by the end, we should have 6 single crochets. Okay. So when we get to the end of our row, we always want to chain 1. I like to stretch it a little bit just so I know what it's going to look like. So we want to chain 1. And then we're going to flip our work over and we're going to be working through the back loop only. So that means this guy right here. If you're holding your work between your thumb and your middle finger, it's going to be the one by your middle finger. So how to do a yarn over slip stitch? You're going to yarn over, work in that first back loop, okay? Pull through, and then just pull it through those 2 loops. Now here's the thing. When I do mine, you'll see yarn over, insert through the back loop. So instead of just yarning over and pulling through with my hook still this way, it's easier when I do the yarn over slip stitch to flip my hook this way and go through there. It just grabs better. So that's how we're going to do it. We're going to make sure we have 6 all the way down. I like to make sure I pull my loops up so that there's an even amount of space, or an even height, I should say. Okay, so now we have 6. Now we're going to chain 1 again, turn over, and again we're going to work through the back loop, the one over here by our middle finger. I really recommend that you keep count on your rows. As soon as you finish one, mark it off on a piece of paper. So how I do it, I'll write down on my paper, chain 7. And then I'll do my single crochet as my first row. Then I'll start counting my yarn over slip stitch and marking them off. So when I start working in the back loop is when I start counting my yarn over slip stitch. It's hard to keep count if you're not marking them down. So make sure you mark them down. And then, like I said, I just like to stretch mine out, okay? And then you just keep going. Well, it helps if you yarn over first. So that's exactly what it is, a yarn over slip stitch. Except for you have 2 loops on your hook. And this is really pretty. It just makes a really stretchy, really ribbed, knitted looking piece. It's great for gloves. It's great for the ends of sweaters. Anything like that that calls for that knitted look. So you'll see it progress as you go on. There you go. That's it. That's all you have to do the yarn over slip stitch. And then what we're going to do, guys, now that we have the bottom wrist portion made, we're going to chain 1, bring both our ends together, and we're going to work through the back loop on both of these. So remember, take your middle finger and your thumb finger. The back loop is closest to your middle finger. So you're going to do that for both of these. Okay, and we're going to do a yarn over slip stitch through the back loops. We'll have 6 of these by the time we're done. And then I will show you how to work around the top so that we can start our rows.
the sheep.
Helps if you yarn over first.
I want the key.
All right, so now we have our yarn over slip stitch connecting those together, right? We've made 25 single crochets all the way around. We're just gonna skip our chain from the beginning of the row, and we're gonna go through the top of our first single crochet, slip stitch it together. Now we have one complete piece. Don't worry about this, we'll come back later and go around the bottom with another single crochet. So now we've done our row of single crochets, half double crochet, and then we're going to just attach to not the chain 2 from the beginning of the row, but the top of the very first half double crochet that we did. So pull it through, slip stitch. This is the row where we're going to start adding our next color. So we're going to chain 2. We're going to half double crochet in the same stitch as the chain 2. And we're going to half double crochet 4. 2, 3, 4. Now this is where we're going to introduce our next color. So I take it, I already do make it into a slip knot. I like to take it through this 5th stitch. Okay, I'm just going to pull that loop through, and then I'm going to loop, yarn over, and pull one through, and then just kind of tighten your slip knot so that it's secured on there. Okay, so now we have that on there. So we did 4 stitches in gray. Now what we're going to do is just kind of put our gray down to the side. We're going to grab this color right here, our second color, and we're going to pull one through and pull it up. So now we have that color on our work, okay? So now for the next 4 stitches, we want gray again. So we're just gonna kind of tuck this guy back here, and we're gonna crochet over it, okay? For the next 4 stitches. If you're finding that your loop right here is really big, that's fine. You just pull on that color and that'll tighten it up. It just happens when you're changing colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, and really once you have that first one on there, it's so much easier. Okay, so now we're just gonna put our gray down. We're gonna pick up our black again. Just half double crochet with the black. Okay, then we put our black down. We're back to our gray. Like I said, that one looks really loose. That's fine. Just pull on your black. So basically what we're doing is just keeping all of our yarn throughout the whole project. We're just crocheting over it. It's way easier to incorporate colors when you do it that way. So let's get to the end of our row here. And I'll show you what I do when I slip stitch these together. Remember to make sure that you have 25 stitches in the end. Two, 3, 4. I like to every once in a while just pull on this secondary color just to make sure it's tight in here because we don't want it loose and sticking out. So really working with two colors is not as hard as it seems, especially when you're making something like this, because you just crochet over the top of it. So this is what I mean. See how that's sticking out right there? I like to just tug on this. That'll pull it, tuck it in, hides it so you don't see it anymore. And then when we slip stitch at the end, we're going to be starting our next row with our secondary color, which is black. So I take my gray. I like to have it right here next to where I'm going to slip stitch. I come through my first half double crochet and I just let the gray lay on top. So let me show you that again. I came through my first half double crochet. I'm just letting the gray piece lay on top, and then I'm grabbing the black, pulling through, slip stitching, half double crochet. Then I have my gray up here and I'm ready to just continue my work like so. And then put my black down, switch over to my gray. It's as simple as that. Okay,